getting to the heart of the matter. Back to Guy, Ben, and Frank with more Inside the News.
Welcome back to our last segment of today's Inside the News with Ben and Frank. This is our hot button topic section. Okay, Frank, let's have yours today.
Well, we talked a bit about Terry McAuliffe in the last segment, and let's stay with that for just a second. Terry McAuliffe, as governor of Virginia, is saying that his state is going to refuse to comply with the election integrity measures put out by the Trump administration trying to detect fraud in voter registration and in voter activity. The commission that was established by the Trump administration back in March is simply trying to put together information about how bad the registration system is in the United States and how bad or subject to fraud the voting process is. Terry McAuliffe, along with a number of Democrat secretaries of state, have said they were going to refuse to comply to provide publicly available information. This isn't classified stuff. No one's asking for Social Security numbers, things of that sort, to the Federal Commission on Election Integrity. And you have to ask the question, if clearly most objective observers, including organizations such as the Pew Foundation, have found that the voting process, and especially the voting registration process in the United States, is really in bad shape, with duplicate registrations, fraudulent registrations, why any Secretary of State, why any governor would not want to cooperate with an overall attempt to simply straighten out the system and ensure that there's only honest registrations there. I think we all know what the reason is. We know that in a number of states, predominantly Democrat-majority states, you're seeing voter registration fraud on a massive scale. And I think that any attempt to actually expose that is going to be a big kick in the tail towards Democrat plans to win back the House, the Senate, and eventually the White House. It's an issue worth looking at. It's an issue that's fundamental to how the American experience and freedom works. And the refusal to go along with it, I think, pretty clearly tells you where the Democrat Party is at this point in time.
Okay, well said. Okay, Ben, your hot button topic for today.
Well, look, we've had a narrative over recent years of white police officers killing people of color in an unjustified manner, and we saw a reversal of that scenario over the weekend in Minneapolis when an Australian woman, Justine Demon, who called the police reporting an incident. Police came to visit her. She was discussing with police officers, apparently wearing her pajamas, talking at the driver's side window with police officers about the incident when the partner in the passenger seat, who is a Somali-American police officer named Mohammed Noor, reached over across his partner's chest and fired fatal bullets into this woman who was discussing the scenario with the police officers. This is a incident that is unbelievable on its face, has no justification whatsoever, and we'll see how this is handled by a very liberal city in Minneapolis, which trumpets diversification. And we're going to see how they handle justice in this scenario.
Well, it's always great to be with you, our listeners. And for those of you who are listening online on our YouTube channel, WBV Inside the News, we ask you to like us and to follow this, not only this segment, but the other ones, and subscribe to the channel so you get frequent updates as to what we put up on the internet. Thanks again, Ben.
Thank you, gentlemen. It has been a great pleasure.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Great being with you. I look forward to our next segment.
USAGovPolicy.com is where you can find Frank Vernuccio, and BenBrunson.com and Amazon.com is where you can find Ben Brunson. Join us again next week for another edition of Inside the News.
You're listening to Wayman, Brunson, and Vernuccio, Inside the News.